Chaos, set the stage. Hello everyone, and get ready for everything you need to know about Anki Overdrive in 2025. That's probably fine. My name is AirScratch, and today we're going to be covering everything about buying, playing, and fixing Anki Overdrive right now, as well as what's coming in the future. Ah, it sounds like the apps are ready. We're going to cover all the versions, and then I'll provide an explanation on how to sideload the apps that are not in stores. These are the 6 main apps: Anki Drive, Anki Overdrive 3.4, Anki Overdrive Fast and Furious, DDL Overdrive 2.6, DDL Overdrive V4, and DDL Overdrive V5. Anki Drive can be considered as the first version, and it only works with the original drive cars and drive mats. Because of this, it has greatly increased functionality for the drive mats, however, it does not at all support the modular track introduced in Overdrive. Anki Overdrive 3.4 was the last Anki released app. It features support for the Overdrive modular track, as well as all of the Overdrive supercars and trucks, as well as a single-player campaign. There is also a spin-off Fast and Furious version to Anki Overdrive 3.4 featuring a custom Fast and Furious campaign, as well as special theming for the movie tie-in, and full support for the unique art for the Fast and Furious cars. DDL Overdrive 2.6 is the most known version, as it has been the legacy version over the last few years, featuring an earlier version of the Anki Overdrive campaign before it was stripped down in Anki Overdrive 2.8. This version is widely considered as the first version after Anki was taken over by Digital Dream Labs in 2019. The newest proper release is DDL V4. This version is the most functional version, as many new devices can no longer support the older apps. However, it lacks all the features of previous versions, as it consists of only PvP races with no single player campaign, and it does not support the drive mats. DDL V5 is the latest release currently available on the Google Play Store and iOS App Store. It is a re-release of DDL 2.6, but updated to run on newer devices. While the Android version is an improvement over 2.6, V5 for iOS is highly unstable, and it is better to sideload the legacy 2.6. So, to summarize the best versions as decided by the community, if you really want single player, use V5 from the Google Play Store, or sideload 2.6 for iOS. However, if you just want the multiplayer, sideload V4 if you have a newer device, or 3.4 if your device can support it. Android and iOS can crossplay between Android V5 and iOS 2.6, however V4 is recommended for a more stable experience. When it comes to loading older apps, it's not too complicated. On iOS, I recommend using a tool like Sideloading that allows for easy IPA sideloading. On Android, most apps are bundled as an XAPK, and you will need a tool like APK Installer to install them correctly. V4, however, is the exception, being a regular APK that can be sideloaded simply by downloading it and running it on your device. There are several repositories for downloading the apps, such as the Internet Archive or modder.my.2, but I personally run Chaos Tree, where you can find all of these versions as well as other helpful Overdrive information. Links to all of these sites are available in the description below. When it comes to racing, here's some helpful tips. Remember to clean your car's wheels before each race, especially if you're using the modular track. Most of the wheel cleaners included with an Overdrive set will have lost their stick, so I personally recommend using a lint roller. They are cheap and will improve your racing experience significantly. Keep your track free of dust, and it can always help to give the track a wipe down between races. Depending on where you live, there's still lots of Overdrive to go around. An Overdrive starter pack goes for about $40 but better deals can appear, with expansion track, cars and trucks going for about the same. I would also highly recommend picking up a drive mat if you can find one. Once you have a set, you will likely find that your car's batteries go flat the moment you remove them from the charger, and that means it's time for some repairs. To open the cars, simply unscrew the single screw on the bottom with a Phillips head screwdriver, then lift off the upper shell. All the cars and trucks are basically the same internally. If your car still has the top cover, remove it and make sure not to lose it. To access the battery, simply pry the 2 clips open, then lift out the motherboard from the front. This will reveal the battery, charging pins, reset pin, and the motors. Stock Overdrive uses 90 mAh 3.7 volt LiPo batteries. I recommend upgrading them to 100 mAh. However, some people have found success with 150 mAh. These batteries are not expensive and can be bought on sites like AliExpress and others for less than $1 a battery. Just make sure you are searching exactly for 100 mAh 3.7 volts. When desoldering the battery, ensure not to damage nearby components, as this is one of the 2 ways to cause permanent damage to the car. After removing the old battery, simply solder a new one in its place. Ensure you don't let the solder bridge any contacts, as this is one of the primary causes of the spinning bug. If you forget which way the wires go, simply refer to the convenient plus and minus markings on the underside of the PCB. Now to test the car. Simply slot the motherboard back in place. If either the reset pin or the charging pins have fallen out, you can simply put them back in. I recommend putting the car on the charger before clipping the motherboard back in fully to verify that the battery is working. A green flashing light means that the replacement is a success and the car is now charging. Now just clip the motherboard back in, ensuring that no wires get stuck and the motor wires correctly slot into their channels. Then reattach the shell and screw it back on, and your car should now be good to go. As of making this, the V6 app is rumored to be in development as an update on the more functional V4 app, but with the added 2.6 campaign content. However, given Digital Dream Labs' track record, we have no way of knowing when it will release, and if so, how long they'll keep it online. This leads me to Anki Overdrive. After rediscovering Overdrive in 2022, I've been working to fully reverse engineer it and create an open source Overdrive game client. As of now, the Anki Overdrive project has led to 2 great pieces of software. Overdrive Server, an application for Windows that allows for connection to multiple cars, as well as tracking the car's locations and performing secret debugging features, such as model swapping one car onto another. And Replay Studios Party Drive, an open source Unity game that leverages Overdrive Server to track the cars and allows for races in a couch gameplay environment, allowing players to play split screen with a live game view, which in future will also show all the ability effects in real time. Currently Demo 3 is the latest version, but Demo 4 is in the works, adding weapons and sounds, working towards a 1.0 release by the middle of 2026. If you found this video helpful, leave a like, and if you're interested in supporting the Party Drive project, a donation link will be in the description. I have been Master Air Scratch, and until next time, goodbye.